feel like you guys executed today?
Well, it was much better than yesterday. I think we played with a better sense of urgency, more of a purpose. Wasn't real pleased yesterday, but today I thought they came out and they competed hard.
Are you seeing more days like today or more days like yesterday in fall camp?
Well, I think we're seeing more of like today. I think we're working hard. I think we're getting better. But it's training camp, so there's going to be some ups and downs, and you're going to make mistakes. You got to get them corrected, and then just keep pushing forward toward the first game.
Seems like you kind of know what you have in Mitchell and Schooler and Johnny, but what about the other guys behind them that are trying to develop that depth for you?
Well, that's the big part. We've got to develop some other guys behind them. Some of the young guys are up and down. They're here sometimes they're not. So we got to make sure we get more consistency there. But I think they're trying. They're working hard. I think their focus needs to be a little more heightened and strengthened. But I think overall, I think they're doing a good job.
What about guys specifically like David Davis and Birch, who had a red shirt last season and had good springs this season?
Well, I think they're doing a good job. But I think the thing that we want from them is consistency. We need to see the same thing from them day in, day out, and that's what we're striving for. They're still young, they're still learning, so the main thing that I'm looking for is the same type of effort each and every day.
When you talk about consistency, is it mainly the effort or is it drop passes and things like that?
Well, it's both. It's both. I think we've got to catch the ball more consistently. You catch the ball from Justin Herbert, it's a little bit different. So you got to really work away from him. So you got to catch jugs balls that are at higher speeds. You got to catch balls in different areas. He's throwing balls the way NFL quarterbacks throw balls. He's putting them in places that you don't normally get them. And I'd like to see them be more consistent catching the ball, but I think they're doing a good job there for the most part.
Do you have guys icing their hands up after they catch passes to Justin Herbert?
Yeah, I don't know about icing the hands, but I think we need to catch more balls at that high speed.
So, like route running, blocking, and there's a lot more things to it. And when you talk about being more consistent.
Yes, all those things. We were talking about run blocking. We're talking about route running versus different coverages and looks and seeing different looks. You have zone looks, you have man looks, you've got 2 high safety looks, 1 high safety looks, and then you've got to learn how to master those techniques in all those different areas. So for a young guy, there's a lot to learn. But we're closing that gap, I think, and I think we're getting better. I think that some of the young guys are making a move and a push to get into that depth heading into the season.
Is there an element of ad-libbing, too, the guys have to learn to work with a quarterback because they don't do everything the same every time?
Yeah, well, you try not to do much ad-libbing, but you want to have a consistent feel, a consistent look, so that he knows exactly what each and every guy is going to do. They may do it a little bit differently, but you try to get them to use the same fundamentals and techniques to make sure that he knows exactly where we're going to be and what we're going to do.
When fall camp started, Mario said that you guys wanted to maybe try and get one position for Brian Addison down before you kind of moved him around a little bit. It seems like he's stuck at receiver for you guys right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's done both, but I think he's worked more at wide receiver this camp just to learn that, because there is a lot to learn from the offensive side of the ball. But I think as you see him, I think you may see him on both sides. He's a big kid, good athlete, so we got to use him and put him somewhere.
Consistency, the thing for him too, like the other young guys.
Yeah, it's just learning. He came in later than some of the other guys, so his learning curve is a little bit further behind than some of the other guys. But he's a smart kid. He's a conscientious kid, and he's trying to pick it up. He's picking it up fast, and he was starting to come on a little bit, and then he kind of bruised himself a little bit. So he'll be back tomorrow.
What kind of skill set does Spartan Hines bring to your group, and is he full go yet?
Well, he's just now starting to get back in there and get to full go. I don't know if he's full go yet, but he's practicing. He brings an experience. He brings a maturity to the room. He's played in games. He's caught balls. He's seen blitzes, seen coverages. So from a standpoint of maturity, I think he helps our younger guys. He's a real conscientious kid. He listens, he studies, he takes notes. So I think that he's going to be a big plus for our room.
Dylan Mitchell said that whereas last year he was mostly outside only, this year he's been moving around a little bit, inside, outside, and he's enjoyed that. Is that the case for multiple receivers where there's more versatility and where they could be used?
Yeah, well, on any given formation, they could be inside. So they have to learn both. And, I like wide receivers who have the ability to go outside and inside, and not just say that they're an inside guy. So, that kind of flexibility is what we have within the formations and the plays that we have in our offense.
A lot of guys would praise the effect that continuity has had. Everyone feels ahead at this point, but there is a different play caller this year. Can you kind of describe just the changes in what Marcus brings? What's unique about him as an OC and how this offense could look differently this year?
Well, Marcus is a very smart guy. He's very intelligent. He's organized. So everything that we're getting from a standpoint of organization, he's good at that. He's called games before. I think he's going to be a guy that'll go in the game and he'll be fine. I like the detail that he's forcing us to learn with. So there's a big deal about a split, big deal about footwork timing. So, those type of things are going to make us a more consistent passing game, I think. And I think we'll benefit from that down the road.
How fast they turn up the jugs machine?
Well, I don't know what they turned it up, but they turned it up because what we were catching at the beginning of camp wasn't the right speed. We were catching that 87 mile an hour fastball, and he's throwing it 96. So we had to turn it up. So we'll be better as we get used to that speed and impact. We'll be better down the road.
Thank you.
Thank you.